know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
It's us, those weekend golf guys. Let the bells ring out and the banners fly. We are here, and we'll be for the remainder of this hour talking about golf and you and your game and all kinds of various and sundry golf-related items. Like, I don't know, stupid things golfers do. And it always seems to be that the stupidest golfers are the ones in the foursome right in front of you. I don't know why it always works out that way, but it does. Touch on some of the
Just
stuff.
so you can see it all day long.
That's it. And then you also run into the guys at the bar after the round, and you don't know if you should say something to them because they're all, hey, how you doing? How'd you shoot him? Going, yeah, would have been a lot better if you just sped up, buddy. But you can't do that because that's just not polite. And you know that this game is still polite. And here we are into the end of 2000, or the end of the first month of 2020. Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, wait a minute. The big game Sunday. And
so, wait a minute. You're not allowed to say Super Bowl anymore?
Only if you've paid millions of dollars.
What?
Yeah, so that's why everybody calls it the big game, except the folks on Fox, because they paid for the rights of it this year. Or anybody who paid $5.7 million to run a 30-second commercial. And there's one commercial you got to watch, man. It's like the dude from The Office, I forget his name, John Krasinski or something like that. The guy who plays Captain America. They're both from Boston. Uh-huh. They're both from Boston, and this female comedian from Boston, and they're talking about this new Hyundai that's got a special pack assist. So they're all talking about how they're going to be able to pack the car.
That's funny.
It is funny. It's hilarious.
I like that.
Yeah, they're back. I know the last couple of years have been pretty disappointing as far as the commercials in the big game telecast have gone. But and I'm also looking forward to the halftime show. I'm sorry, but Shakira she's fun to watch.
I don't know who that is.
She's a singer. She's from South America.
Okay.
Just look her up. Watch a few videos.
Okay.
And you will not be going for snacks during the halftime show.
Oh, really?
You. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I know you. You're as sleazy as I am. And we've got a lot of golf to talk about, and we're going to do it when we come right back. Please hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. And the stuff doesn't start until a few hours down the road anyhow. So stick with us. We'll be right back. You know, I should be in Phoenix right now for the Waste Management Greater Phoenix Open. Yeah, my favorite golf tournament of all time. But I am stuck, alas, here in the Midwest, under the dome, the frozen dome of a Arctic air blast. But I am going to go. I'm going to go soon. This is a great reason to get the trip together and get the family together and maybe take my grandson out for some spring training. You know, they do spring training in Phoenix. There are 10 stadiums, 15 Major League Baseball teams, and 75-degree temperatures during spring training in Phoenix. Yeah, it's about 15 below where I am right now. 75 feels absolutely wonderful. And all of those 10 stadiums are within a 50-mile radius of Greater Phoenix. And, you know, spring training is laid back. If you're a baseball fan, it's great because you can get up close and personal with the players. You can get autographs before the game. And there's so much else to do, too. Craft beer, if you're into that. Four Peaks, Angel's Trumpet, Ale House, Goldwater Brewing Company are all in Phoenix. Lots of good local and national artists are performing. And, of course, there's the Grand Canyon, there's Monument Valley, there's Horseshoe Bend, there's Tucson, believe even the Painted Desert, Petrified Forest, all that kind of stuff is all around the state of Arizona. And it's going to be absolutely gorgeous in spring training. The Cactus League spring training, 10 stadiums, 15 Major League Baseball teams. But probably the operative consideration for most of us right now, 75-degree temperatures. Let me tell you what you want to do. Find out the exact dates and plan your trip. You can go to visitarizona.com/springtraining. That's visitarizona.com/springtraining. visitarizona.com/springtraining. That's visitarizona.com/springtraining. It is us, those weekend golf guys. Happy Big Game Sunday. Football season ends today. There's going to be maybe some golf that you want to watch. The other networks have golf on, which is fun to watch too.
Well, because there's that one big party hole out there at the Waste Management out there in Phoenix.
I wish I
Matter
was
of
there.
fact, my sister's out there watching it.
Is she?
She told me she was going to get there early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and hightail it to her favorite spot on 16.
That's it.
I'd sit there and party with the crazies.
That's it. Just sit there and wait and wait and wait. See if Tiger or anybody can get another ace on that hole, like Tiger did a few years ago. As we should
Early in the week, I sent my friend Tyler Duncan. I sent him a text message saying that my sister was going to be there to videotape his ace on number 16 to take him into solo possession of the lead. And he said, "I like your plan." I like the plan.
It worked on paper, man. It worked on paper. Listen, we have been remiss up until this point. I have neglected to tell you that I am John Ashton, and he is Jeff Smith, the #1 golf instructor in the state of Indiana, according to Golf Digest magazine, and also the best teacher according to his peers in the state of Indiana. So everybody is in complete agreement that Jeff Smith is the bestest. So there you go. Okay.
So here I am at the Timbergate Golf Course in Edinburgh, Indiana. This is where I've got my cool golf studio.
That's a
with
Fuzzy
all my
Zellers.
gizmos and whiz bangs and all the things that I do,
Mhm.
you know, from force plates to 3D body measurement stuff to the launch monitors and all the things that prove to the student what they're doing. And again, the result of why they should be doing it.
Right.
And I think it's just fun. You know, my wife gives me a hard time. She's like, "You're just a golf geek." Like, well,
okay.
there's an art to this, but the science part of it's pretty cool too. Like, you're just a golf geek and you got golf geek friends and all your top 100 teacher friends and all that. She goes, "You're just a bunch of techies."
Yeah. And her
Like,
point,
well-
her point was,
I just kind of looked at her and went, "Yeah, well, so
nice that you're paying attention. Okay.
yeah." Interestingly enough, a little over a week ago was PGA show and I was down there and doing a lot of stuff. You know, I was in a few booths for some manufacturers and on stage doing some speaking and whatnot. But
Sure.
I saw some things of note
Okay.
that golfers can afford and that they can get better. I saw things from putting devices that were clever, creative, and simple. And I saw things from a full swing perspective that I really liked. And I bought one. And it's not often where I just go to the show and I see something and I buy it immediately, unless it strikes a chord in me that I can use it with more than one type of player.
Okay. What'd you buy?
I found something that I don't normally just, promote a product, but you can buy it and you go onto the Tour Striker website and you go get the PlaneMate. And let me tell you, from a feel perspective, it doesn't make you think. It gives you a feel of something. And you can hit balls with it. It's a waist belt with a little bar that goes around, and you've got some elastic straps, and one straps onto your club and one straps onto this bar, and then you just make golf swings. I'll tell you, if you have a problem of your club getting away from you, either you've got it stood up too much or laid down too much, too far behind you, too flat, so to speak, or too upright, either way.
Right.
This thing can help you get it back right down to where you need it. I'm impressed.
To hit the ball straight.
Yeah, to hit the ball really straight.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, yes, I'll admit I know the inventor, Martin Chuck. He's a friend, but I'm not saying these nice things about it because he's got lots of other products that I have not mentioned on this radio show. Okay. Otherwise, this would be a Tour Striker commercial because Martin Chuck's my buddy.
Right.
But,
I got you.
But the point is that I saw this thing and I tried it and I instantly realized it can be used by a lot of people and they're not too much money. So
and to add to the creative and the simple, it's also effective, which is the number one
really is.
Priority, I would think, or number one consideration.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I saw that a lot. And then I saw something that another friend of mine makes, and he sells to other teachers to help as a teaching aid to a lot of people. It's really a pretty genius thing, and he's made them out of rope. And they are getting people exactly what everybody wants in their golf swing, from a sequencing of events. Like, some part of your body has to move before another part of your body, and then another part of your body has to move before another part. And they all kind of line up for power. it's unbelievable what he's done. It's so simple. And he's made some of these things, and he was selling them to a bunch of teachers down there because we instantly realized how effective they are. And it's made out of rope and tape and
that's your favorite stuff, man.
Yeah, I know.
You got a lot of things in that studio already made out of rope and tape and paper clips and glue.
This one was pretty strong. So what I'll tell you is if people are listening to this and they're interested in finding this out, just contact me. And I will get you in contact with the teacher and that information. Because
that's good.
They're certainly not going to be a lot of money, but nonetheless, I've seen this work with everybody that I watch swing it of all different body types and of all different levels of ability. And I watched what happened. I'm like, oh boy.
So you think
this thing's going to think, John, this might even help you.
I was going to say, could it help Intrepid producer Mark?
No, it'll definitely help him. But truth be told, John, instead of you getting a piece of rope and trying to fashion it into a noose, I think you ought to try this and actually get better at golf.
That probably would be better off for everybody concerned. What's going on there at the course? So you got some stuff going on, don't you?
We do. Timbergate. Oh my gosh. So we got some new stuff. They've got in the wintertime here that they got the simulators going.
Yeah.
They got really cool simulators in here, and they got the full service bar and they got stuff, but they built a good short game area, and they haven't had one before. And, this last year they got together with me and we built a short game area where we cut down some things on some mounds and some things that were kind of growing wild because of by design. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden we're starting to bring in some mounding and some things into a short game area that never existed. It's right just behind the clubhouse. And so they got awesome greens here. The bunkers are really good. They got new golf carts. They got, my teaching studios in here, with the Foresight launch monitor and me and all my gizmos, but they got a good membership. So it's a good track. It's something that people, in our area are certainly fortunate enough that they can get here. Heck, I think we're only 20 minutes south of Indianapolis. And yeah, you've been here, you played it. It's a good track.
Yeah. It's not too far from where we are in Louisville. It's not too far at all from Indianapolis. You can even get there from Ohio and Illinois. Those are the other two states.
All roads lead to Timbergate, baby.
They do, man. That's a Fuzzy Zeller design too, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a signature design. As a matter of fact, they got some of the best par threes out here. In the evenings, I take people out and work short game area. Before we built this one, I'd go out to hole number 3 and number 11 and number 8 and just go at it on the par threes because of the creativity of the shots that you could have around there. Those things are like our short game practice area all in themselves. Yeah.
It was great. Quick story. 1988, I was working in Atlanta at an advertising agency that handled the stuff for Bell South. And the Bell South Classic tournament Bell South was when Bell South existed. They were the big sponsor of a PGA tournament every year. And because we worked with the agency that handled them, we got finagled our way into all the hospitality stuff and all that kind of stuff. So we were like almost behind the ropes for everything. And my brother-in-law and I were there together, and we were following a twosome of Fuzzy Zeller and Raymond Floyd.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have never been so much entertained in my life. Fuzzy just a running commentary. But I just couldn't believe watching Fuzzy Zeller walk. It was a par 4. He hit a nice drive, almost straight down the middle. He's walking up, talking to Ray Floyd and joking with the gallery, smoking on a cigarette, okay? And he gets to his bowl, and he throws the cigarette down on the ground, looks at his caddy and says, "How far?" Caddy said 136, handed him a club. He took one practice swing, stepped up to the ball, hit a beautiful shot, put it like maybe 6 feet from the pin, gave the club back to the caddy, picked the cigarette up off the ground, and kept walking. It was like, wow. The man was kind of good.
That is pretty good. I like that.
He plays well and he designs well, and he's got some great courses around the state of Indiana. You ever get here, go there. Okay. He's got, of course, Timbergate, and then, of course, a little farther south in Indiana, he's got, the Covered Bridge and Champions Point.
Covered Bridge and Champions Point. Yeah.
And they're both great.
This one, I think, is, this is the one that's closest to Indianapolis. And I tell you, it's a good track. Good spot. Guys that are running it know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a great place.
A lot of good stuff there.
So you're in Indianapolis listening to us. Pack up the car and go on down. 20 minutes, 25 minutes down the road. You can't miss exit 80. You do the math. Okay? We're going to be right back. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. Hang with us. You know, golfers, we love gear. It's a big part of our game, and we put a lot of time and let's face it, a lot of money into getting it right, whether we're researching our next irons or maybe even testing out some new tees. But there is one important piece of equipment that we overlook: your golf cart battery. Most of us don't consider the quality of our battery. That is until it dies and we're stranded out in the middle of the course. That's why we want you to know about the Rely-On Insight battery, the intelligent golf cart battery that utilizes intuitive software for better performance and fewer disconnects. The Rely-On Insight battery is powered by lithium, not lead acid, so it charges faster, provides more range, and requires no maintenance. It's a drop-in replacement, so just connect and go. You can learn more at RelyOnBattery.com/golfguys and use our special promo code GolfGuys for 10% off. Plus, you'll get a free charger when you order 2 or more Insight batteries. Again, that's RelyOnBattery.com/golfguys and use promo code GolfGuys. And no other lithium battery compares to Rely-On's. Order yours today. Are you a sales guy or a business owner? And do you use golf in your business? You should, you know. It's a great way to build a relationship much quicker and much more deeply than you can in a month full of business lunches. Really is. You can learn more about somebody in 18 holes of golf than you can any other way. Check it out. Make sure you do it right. We've got a place you can go. It's called thebusinessgolfcourse.com. Got a freebie there for you to download on how to put together the perfect foursome to actually make a whole lot of money, a whole lot more money than you're going to make normally. It's the best way to make friends and influence people, if you pardon the expression. Golf for Business, thebusinessgolfcourse.com, the perfect golf foursome. You can get it for free. Just go there, thebusinessgolfcourse.com. One more time, write it all out, one word, thebusinessgolfcourse.com. Thebusinessgolfcourse.com. It's hard to really contemplate the fact that baseball season starts in about 6 weeks. At least spring training does. And if you are a baseball fan, then one of the things on a bucket list of every baseball fan is to go to spring training. And the Cactus League spring training in Arizona is fantastic. There are 15 major league teams there, 10 stadiums. Average temperature 75 degrees. And all of the 10 stadiums are within 50 miles of the greater Phoenix area. And this is cool too, because when you get there, it's much more laid back, much more low key. You can meet the players, you can get autographs before the games. And then, of course, make sure you bring your sticks, because most baseball fans are also great golfers, and you know how fantastic the golf can be in the greater Phoenix area. It's just incredible. Even as incredible as the landscapes, the outdoor adventures, the urban centers of ghost towns, the artsy communities. It's just great. Check it out. Arizona is a perfect home base for baseball fans. Of course, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/golfguys. We would love it if you were to go there and like us. facebook.com/golfguys. And we're back, those weekend golf guys. I'm John Ashton. He is Jeff Smith. I told you a couple of weeks ago about joining the country club, and did mention the fact that I hoped my wife wasn't listening to the show. Guess who was listening to the show? My wife works nights. She's a critical care nurse, and she listens to podcasts while she's working. Who knew that we were one of the ones she listened to? She texted me last night. I'm just sitting home minding my own business.
Didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't. No, sirree, Bob. I'm just sitting home, and I'll suddenly get this text. Which blankety blank golf course did you join? And even though it was just text, I could tell, I knew the tone of voice she typed it in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the first thing I did is thank her for listening.
Bold and all caps.
All caps. Yeah. Yeah. But I did thank her profusely for listening. And assured her if I had the first inkling that she would have been listening, I would have broken it to her in a different way.
Yeah, that's funny.
So anyhow, just waiting for the weather to break. But honey, there's a pool. She'll probably just come and say, "How much are you spending on this?" "Well, that means I get to spend that much on this." I go, "Okay, sure, go." So just a word to the wise, man. If you're going to join a country club, talk to your wife about it first. Okay. Just saying. Might be a smart move.
Before we get into the next segment, isn't this where you say this will be my last show and Jeff will be taking over?
No, Not at all.
It's been real. It's been fun.
She
and
did
it has been real fun.
She hasn't removed any body parts I need to talk with. I'm fine. Now we'll still be doing this. In fact, we're going to have to do this long after we're gone, just to pay for the the money she's going to spend to punish me for joining the country club. You know, I figured she never wanted to come out and play with me, but maybe if the grandson got out there to play, she'd want to go out and play with him. Still working on that. Because I know once she gets out there, she'll be hooked just like everybody else is. That time is still going to come. Again, just waiting for the weather to break, and I'll just someday real casually say, hey, honey, why don't you come on out for lunch and we'll play 9 holes. You can watch. Drive the cart.
How about hook her on playing golf?
That's not going to work. Well, that's what I got to do. I got to get her hooked on being there first, man. Because it's the scenery. You got to admit, man, even people who don't play golf really enjoy the pastoral setting of a golf course. It's quiet for the most part. You're communing with nature. It's just a nice, comfortable outing in nature. And then when you get to the point where you see some person that you're with hitting a ball and having a good time, and you say to yourself, well, that looks easy. Anybody can do that. And then you get out and try, and whether or not you accomplish it correctly the first time, you get hooked. Because the first time, like my grandson did, the first time he hit a ball straight about 30 feet in the air. 30 yards in the air. And he was like, whoa, this is cool.
He's liking it.
Yeah. And I've also been with people who shanked their first shot, and they go, oh, I can do better than that. Either way, the bottom line is you get hooked.
Yeah.
And that's
the point.
Yeah, it's just
get her.
Exactly. It's like the drug. That's why the drug dealers give you your first couple of times free, man. Get you hooked. So I'm just working on it. You just have to get over that initial resistance.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure if she just want to go play golf or she just doesn't want to go play golf with me. I'm not sure. Jury's still out on it.
Go find out by figuring it. Hey, listen, you'll find that out if you figure out that if there are women that are playing golf, and she can start playing with them, she'll have new friends.
Exactly.
And then the answer will be obvious to you that she wants to play golf, but just not with you.
Not with me, which is fine. You get hooked. This is what happens. This is what happens, man. And I was talking with some guys, because one of the things we're going to start doing when the weather warms up, we're going to start doing some seminars on how to use golf for business. Because people, we started last year, and so many people didn't understand the concept, and we're doing it wrong or doing it haphazardly. There's such an easy way to do it correctly, even if you can't play golf well. And I have come across a few people. I was talking to some guys last week, and I said, they was at a networking thing. They said, well, what do you do? And I said, well, I do a nationally syndicated radio show about golf, and we teach business people how to use golf effectively to get more business. And they were like, oh, I don't play golf. And I was like, well, you should. How much business do you think you could do if you did play golf? And I said, well, yeah, you're right there. And I used to play, but I just got busy. It takes too much time. And I said, really? How much time do you spend during a normal business day trying to get new business, talking to potential clients? And he said, well, a great part of my day. I said, fine. So take 4.5 hours, invite somebody that's a potential client, take them out on the golf course. When you're done, you will be doing business not with a client, but with a friend.
Things get easier when you are on the golf course.
They do.
They just get easier.
You're much less intimidating when you have a 7-iron in your hand instead of a tie around your neck. And you can quote me on that.
We will quote you on that. That's good.
Yeah. No, I was talking to a guy who a couple of years ago was at the Phoenix Open, at the 16th hole in the grandstand. And he said there was a guy in front of him, sitting right in front of him, who, when there was a player coming up, would pay rapt attention to what was happening on the course. But during the times when there were no players playing, or they were walking from the tee to the green or whatever, he was on his phone constantly, sending emails, reading emails and stuff like that. Come to find out, the guy was the CEO of 1-800-Flowers.
Huh.
They use golf. Zappos, the shoe company, they have a vice president of golf. It's a guy who does nothing more than arrange golf outings with customers, with suppliers, and potential customers and potential suppliers. That's how they make their initial bonding with people they want to do business with.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very worthwhile. Very worthwhile. In fact, we've got a place you can go to right now and check it out. It's called thebusinessgolfcourse.com, and a Facebook group called the Back Nine Advisory Board. Check those both out, and more details coming soon to this radio show near you. But I mean, it's just something. If you don't do it now, you got to do it. If you're a salesperson, if you own a business, whatever, you have got to play golf and learn how to do golf for business. It's different. You know, a lot of people get out there and they get on to the third, fourth hole and say, "So, how much you want to buy this month?" Or how come your order's been so bad in the past couple of weeks? No, you don't talk business. You don't talk business.
It's kind of you create a relationship.
That's what you do. You build trust,
and then so you'll understand what is involved in that person or that business just by listening to the general conversation about things,
right? And
then they're more willing to talk.
Exactly. Plus, you get a very deep insight into their personality. You know if they cheat. You know if they're quick to anger. You know if they can't handle alcohol. And I would suggest if you do go business golf, don't drink.
Right.
Unless,
it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not a good look, especially to drink to excess. But if your guest is drinking and wants you to drink, then by all means do it. But just be careful. You want to maintain control of both yourself and the situation. One of the things I want to tell you is Zig Ziglar. You know him. He's a sales guy, big sales trainer.
Yeah.
The probably consummate sales trainer. Everybody who sells anything in life has read a book or taken some training from Zig Ziglar. Well, Zig Ziglar said very effectively that people will talk to people they like. You know, so if somebody likes you, you got a customer or a potential customer, they like you. Yeah, they'll talk to you when you walk in the store. They'll talk to you when you walk into their office. They'll let you sit down, maybe even let you take them to lunch. But they do business, Zig Ziglar says, with people they trust. Takes an awful lot of business lunches to build trust with somebody. An awful lot. Because conversations, at least for the first 5 or 6 lunches, are pretty superficial. When you spend 5.5 hours on a golf course with somebody, you're going to get to a much deeper level of conversation. You're going to start talking about personal stuff. You're going to start building trust. Them beginning to trust you, you beginning to trust them. And when you walk off that course and you each trust each other, that's business waiting to happen.
It is. There's no satisfaction greater than making new friends, feeling like I really did something great, and golf brought that to me. And then it turns into business when you do it that way, as opposed to I'm out to just do business, but there's no satisfaction in that because you didn't make any relationships. You don't know if it's ever going to go anywhere past that thought of a transaction. Mm-hmm. It's all short-term stuff.
Yeah. I've got 2 very, very good friends that I would not have had at all had it not been for golf. I met them through golf. Created a relationship with them through golf, and they've gotten to be friends of mine because of golf. And again, I think every golfer, just sit back and think to yourself right now, how many of your friends are friends because of golf? Rhetorical question. You don't have to tell me. Just tell yourself. But again, that's something that we can talk about at greater length later. Right now, we're going to talk about something else, which is taking a break and then coming back and talking about some of the stupid things golfers do out there. And then, like I said in the beginning, usually the stupidest ones are in the group right in front of you. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. Hang with us because we're coming right back. Okay, listen, it may be too late to pack up and go out to Phoenix for the Waste Management Open, but there's still plenty of time for you to get out to Phoenix. Why would you go if the Waste Management Open is over? Well, because baseball spring training, 10 stadiums, 15 major league teams, 75-degree temperatures on average. And all 10 of the stadiums are in the greater Phoenix area within 50 miles. You can meet the players and get autographs before the games because, the atmosphere is much more laid back at spring training. And then in addition to baseball, they got restaurants and bars, including tons of craft breweries like Four Peaks, Angel's Trumpet Ale House, and Goldwater Brewing Company. Live music, local and national artists. I mean, Phoenix is a happening place, man. Phoenix. Take yourself a spring trip for some spring training baseball and then take in all the other stuff that Phoenix has to offer. Visit Arizona.com/spring training. You know, I should be in Phoenix right now for the Waste Management Greater Phoenix Open. Yeah, my favorite golf tournament of all time. But I am stuck, alas, here in the Midwest under the dome, the frozen dome of a Arctic air blast. But I am going to go. I'm going to go soon. This is a great reason to get the trip together and get the family together and maybe take my grandson out for some spring training. You know, they do spring training in Phoenix. There are 10 stadiums, 15 Major League Baseball teams, and 75-degree temperatures during spring training in Phoenix. Yeah, it's about 15 below where I am right now. 75 feels absolutely wonderful. And all of those 10 stadiums are within a 50-mile radius of Greater Phoenix. And, you know, spring training is laid back. If you're a baseball fan, it's great because you can get up close and personal with the players. You can get autographs before the game. And there's so much else to do, too. Craft beer, if you're into that. Four Peaks, Angel's Trumpet, Ale House, Goldwater Brewing Company are all in Phoenix. Lots of good local and national artists are performing. And, of course, there's the Grand Canyon. There's Monument Valley. There's Horseshoe Bend. There's Tucson. Believe even the Painter Desert, Petrified Forest. All that kind of stuff is all around the state of Arizona, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous in spring training. The Cactus League spring training, 10 stadiums, 15 Major League Baseball teams, but probably the operative consideration for most of us right now, 75-degree temperatures. Let me tell you what you want to do. Find out the exact dates and plan your trip. You can go to visitarizona.com/spring training. That's visitarizona.com/spring training. Visitarizona.com/spring training. That's visitarizona.com/spring training. If you're in sales, you know that people buy things from people they know, they like, and they trust. It can take forever to build that kind of a relationship unless you use golf. Business golf is the quickest way to build trust with your clients and potential customers. TheBusinessGolfCourse.com. Go there now and check it out. And we're back, those weekend golf guys. I'm John Ashton. He is Jeff Smith, the #1 golf instructor in the state of Indiana. Not according to me, not according to him, not even according to his students, although I'm sure they will all agree, but according to Golf Digest magazine, who are the folks that actually officially make those kind of pronouncements. And he teaches golf. He teaches golf very well. Do you counsel people when you notice them doing stupid things, or do you just chuckle and let them go?
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing that, we know there are an awful lot of idiots on the golf course doing just idiotic things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how I work this in with an awful lot of students is we're on the golf course and I'll tell them, a lot of the newer players, I'll say, now we're not going to talk about technique or stuff like that. Let's talk about things that cool golfers do and things that idiot golfers do so that people won't hate you.
Right.
And they're like, okay. Yeah. Now all of a sudden they're tuned in because they don't want it to be being hated on the golf course.
Right.
Here's one of them, that stupid things that golfers do that make no sense whatsoever. All right. John, you and I are playing in the golf cart and you're driving the golf cart. I'm the passenger.
Okay.
I drive up to my ball. I get myself ready to go. I get my club and you just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
You do nothing.
Quietly and politely watching.
Where you could get out of the cart, walk over to your golf ball.
Yeah.
And we're going to assume that, you hit your driver off the tee and I hit my 5-wood off the tee and we're pretty close together. And I get to my ball. Right.
Yeah.
And I get to my ball and, as I'm in the fairway getting ready to hit my shot, you could get out of the golf cart and head over to the trees and start looking for your golf ball.
I could. I didn't have to wait for you to come help me. Yeah, I could.
But see, that's the thing. You don't have to wait for me to hit the shot onto the green and then put my club back in my bag in order for me to drive over there and then start to hunt for your golf ball.
Right.
You can take that time
Right.
and start to do it.
I could have done that.
Because there's a whole golf course full of people behind you with their hands on the hips going, really?
Yeah.
You're not waiting for that? You know?
That's it.
That's something that bends people sideways.
It does.
Is the poor golf cart etiquette.
Yeah. Even worse, though, when it's like cart path only, and you see somebody will park the car in kind of like on the cart path close to where their ball is laterally, walk to their ball, check and see their yardage, walk back to the cart, get a club, walk back to the ball, shoot, walk back to the cart, and then the cart moves 50 yards up the cart path to the next guy's ball, and he does the same thing. Hate that.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
How about this? Here's the other one that gets people just irate. Guy leaves his cart on the cart path, walks over to his ball with nothing in his hand except possibly his rangefinder.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks down at his ball, shoots the yardage, walks back to his cart, pulls the one club, walks back to his ball, hits it, comes up short, and has to repeat the process.
Oh.
He didn't bother to take, say, 3 or 4 clubs with him because they're just way too heavy, right?
Right.
We all know these things are entirely too heavy to walk with 2 or 3 of them in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't have shot the distance from the golf cart to get a thereabouts and took a handful of clubs and his rangefinder with him to kind of nail it down right there.
Right.
Nope. They had to treks back and forth. And that happens. It doesn't happen. Here's the thing. Y'all know this. That doesn't happen once during the round. That happens every single time during the round. Can you imagine how slow this guy is to play behind?
Yes, I can, because I've been behind that guy on multiple occasions.
That makes everybody berserk.
It does.
So that's something that I try to help my students with, to say, look, let's learn better here. Let's learn much better things.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that what's happening here is important for everybody on the golf course. You got to understand, people are going to hate you if you do these ridiculous things. And more golf cart poor etiquette. I'm going to park wherever I want to park it. I have people that will go up to the green and they will park, but they will not keep all 4 wheels on the cart path. They'll instantly pull off, creating a rut near the green, near the cart path.
Yep.
At the place where the golf course wants to keep it as good as we can, the surroundings of the greens.
Yep.
And they'll go, I'm going to pull off, and in case someone wants to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they'll do this not just on that hole, but they'll do it on every hole, and they'll do it every round of golf. So that clown is basically just tearing up the golf course with the thought in his head that he thinks that someone might pass him. How many times do people pass on the golf course? You're on the golf course, and who drives by you?
Not unless you're very, very slow and somebody is leapfrogging you to the next hole.
Right. You got the Rangers driving around.
Yeah.
You got the whoever's driving the beverage cart. They're driving around.
Yeah.
You got some golfers who lost their wedge 2 holes back driving around. Right.
Yeah. I know that guy.
You've got the golf professional who's got to give a note to a guy driving around.
Yeah.
You don't have very many people driving around, so the odds of this, I'm going to get passed at exactly that point on the golf course, is very slim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So these people who do this, they have friends that are driving in the same group with it, and then they do it. And then this becomes an epidemic, and they wonder why the golf courses are beat up around the greens. It's because everybody's parking their speed carts off the path.
Yeah.
Makes me crazy.
Yeah, those guys are, the only time I ever park close to the green off the path is, and I usually make it a point to go away from the green side of the cart path and in shade when it's hot. That's the only time I ever get off the path, when I get close to a green. And then again, it's not on the grass between the cart path and the green. It's on the grass the other side, hopefully where there's a tree or 2 or 12 and some shade, because after everybody in my group 4 putts, that's a lot of time for the sun to beat on the vinyl seat, and it gets hot if the sun's beating down on it.
You got that right.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my pet peeve about things that make me crazy about what golfers do is you got sand on the carts. Nobody uses it.
No.
They'll make their divot. And in the Midwest, a lot of times they'll make a divot and the whole goal is there is to replace it if it could still grow back. Meaning, is there enough actual dirt
right
there on that divot? Could it grow back? Is it possible? Or is it just going to die and then the mowers are going to roll over it, right?
Yep.
But there's sand and or dirt right there on the carts and people don't fill their divots. And then they wonder at some point, they want to play for as little money as possible. They want to have the golf course in as pristine shape as possible, and they don't take care of it themselves. And they wonder why, there's a bunch of divots in the fairway that people haven't filled in. They complain about that. And you go, this place is terrible. They haven't filled in all their divots. Like there's some guy that's job is to run around behind everybody and fill those divots.
Mm-hmm.
It's the golfer's responsibility.
Yeah, that's why they put those bottles of sand on the carts.
That it is.
Yeah. And why every scorecard says, please replace divots.
Yeah.
It also says, please repair ball marks on the green. That's the thing that rankles me the most, is you get on a green and you see all these little bare spots because somebody was either too lazy. Well, not either. That's the only choice I have is you're too lazy to do it. I know if your ball hit in the front of the green and rolled to the back of the green, it's a long walk from the front to the back, and therefore, but at least try to follow the flight of the ball and go to where you think your ball mark should be and fix it.
Yeah.
And then fix two or three others on your way back to your ball. Please.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
No. And it's, when you have to change your angle of attack on the hole because you got 4 bare spots to run over. And bare spots are contagious on greens, aren't they?
They can be. They can be. I think that there's an awful lot of high spots that get dried out. There's some disease that happens. But the bare spots aren't really a cause from humans traffic.
Okay.
Right? From the golfers traffic. The bare spots have more to do with the ground condition and or any sort of disease that may be going on there.
I got you. One thing I think that most golf instructors should add to their first or second lesson with a new student, no matter what level that student is at, is how to fix a ball mark on a green.
Yeah. Please do not pry up the center. All you're doing is tearing the roots of the grass out.
Yeah.
It would be like someone sticking a fork into the back of your head to try to pry up the skin and trying to cover up your bald spot, and you're just trying to dig into the turf and pry up the center. That's not helping anything. You got to wiggle it back in from the sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ball just came crashing down and dented the soil. And it dented the soil and dented the grass and pushed the grass back and down. So what you do is you take your pitch repair tool and you put it in behind there and you wiggle it, and you don't pry up the center. You wiggle it down so that way the roots don't break and get torn out. You're just kind of standing the turf and the grass back up, and then you just step on it. And you know what? It's smooth and it's going to live.
Yeah, it'll grow back.
But that prying up the center, you can make it smooth, but it's dead now.
Yeah. What about those spider ball mark repair things where you don't pry anything up? They've got like 4 prongs, and you just stick them in the ground and then pull up, and it kind of supposedly lifts everything back up to surface. That sounds like it would be against what you just said.
Lifting it more from the sides.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it is lifting from the sides.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing that goes in the middle. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So those work too. Those are cool. I got a bunch of those. With the ball mark, the magnetic ball mark in them and everything. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, didn't mean to hurt your feelings if you are one of those guys that we just talked about, but
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. because you got to stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that. And the one thing, when you're in a cart, this is the biggest thing. When you're in a cart, whether you're driving or a passenger, when you get out to let the first person, the farthest away, get out, take his club, at that point, move to your ball. Be ready to hit your ball after your cart mate hits their ball. Be ready. You don't know how much time that'll save you and how much aggravation that'll save the people behind you. I rest my case.
Every day. Every day, golf gets slower.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Yep. So, hey, we're just trying to help people. We're just trying to help. Hang out. We got more. We'll be right back. You want to see how great a golf instructor Jeff Smith really is? It's very easy. $5golfclub.com. The number $5golfclub.com. I want to talk to you about my wife. She is a critical care nurse, works 4 12-hour shifts a week at the hospital. Her knees hurt, and she's tried the Icy Hots and the Bengays of the world only to say, yeah, I get 20 minutes of relief. That pain is right back again. So I got this bottle of stuff in the mail. It's Omax Health. It's called CryoFreeze CBD. They developed it at Omax Health. It's a non-prescription triple-action pain relief roll-on, specially formulated to block pain receptors, reduce inflammation, and improve muscle and joint flexibility. All right, so she rolled it on and went to work. Came back in the morning, and you know what she said to me? It works! Omax Health is offering our listeners 20% off a full bottle of CryptoFreeze Pain Relief Roll-On, plus free shipping. Now, the discount also applies to anything, any product, site-wide on their website. Just go to omaxhealth.com today. Enter the code WEEKEND and take advantage of this incredible savings. That is omaxhealth.com. And enter the code WEEKEND. You'll get 20% off CryoFreeze and anything else site-wide. omaxhealth.com. Of course, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/golfguys. We would love it if you were to go there and like us. Facebook.com/golfguys. We are those weekend golf guys, and we are here every Sunday. You can catch us after the show is over here. Just go to thoseweekendgolfguys.com. 9 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time. It's available. The show that you're listening to right now will be available online at thoseweekendgolfguys.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com. Got some Twitter folk going on. At Twitter, it's at WKND Golf Guys. And then what did I miss? I think we got it all.
I don't think you missed anything.
No, we got it all. We got it all. All right. The good news is that this is the final day of football season. It's over after today, after San Francisco walks off with the Lombardi Trophy. And then, no argument, that's cool.
You sound very confident in that.
Well, you know, I was surprised. Once the Patriots lost, I thought they were just going to cancel the Super Bowl. I didn't know they had one if the Patriots weren't playing. But
I was wondering about why you even talked about this game.
Yeah,
I just thought you were in remission or something.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I tried to ignore it, but try as I might, it still went on, and you know I can't ignore it totally. So there you go. It's still winter though for most of us, or for many of us. Very soon it's going to become spring, and you're going to want to get back out, and you're going to need to probably get a little brush up on a few techniques, and we'll be able to do that with Facebook Lives. Jeff will be doing some of those once the season gets more underway. But we got to get through February first because, man, it's cold. I'm sorry, it's just cold. When you get old, too, your blood starts to thin, man. I used to, as long as there wasn't ice on the fairway, I used to be able to play, you know, comfortably. Now I'm uncomfortable if it's under 50, which is kind of sad. But
yeah.
I'll still do it. But I won't like it. So,
yep.
Okay, so that's what you need to do. Just check us out and, follow along. We've got the Drinking and Driving newsletter, which has nothing to do with either drinking or driving. It's golf related, and it's created by artificial intelligence, which is good because that means it's smarter than if Jeff or I created it. So there you go. Subscribe to that. It's pretty cool and nifty. What it does is it sends you things it thinks you want to read based on what you read last week. So you'll only get good stuff, nothing extraneous, No waste, no muss, no fuss. You can just sign up anywhere at thoseweekendgolfguys.com. Until next week, hopefully it's warm enough where you are, or you're good enough to play in the cold. Grab some golf clubs, get out there, and play some golf. Hey, don't go anywhere. We have a bonus segment from golf comedian T.P. Mulrooney. Here it is right now. It is the best that we could find of those weekend golf guys. Jonna and Jeff both being on vacation. This is from 2016 program we did back in the winter of that year with a golf comedian. His name is T.P. Mulrooney. And on the phone, live and direct from Chicago, Illinois, we have T.P. Mulrooney, golf comedian. Or are you just a comedian who talks about golf? How do you want to pigeonhole yourself, TP?
Oh, well, I sort of fell into this golf comedy thing. I never expected to do that, but I'm glad I did because it's something I really like. And I remember I was playing a club in Cleveland, a big club there called Hilarities, and the guy came up to me afterwards, and an audience member said, "Hey, man, what do you like, the golf comic?" So what are you talking about? He said, "He's talked a lot about golf." And the club owner happened to be standing there at the time, and he said, I said, "Did I really talk that much about golf?" And the club owner gave me one of those glares. Says, "Yes." He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. And I said, "Well, really? How much did I do?" And he played back my tape, and I did, out of a 50-minute set, I did 12 minutes of golf. He said, "That's too much." He says, "You only like 1 out of 10 people as a golfer, so you either have to just knock out that golf stuff or go find golf audiences." Well, I didn't like his tone, so so just to spite him, I went out and found golf audiences. And of course, I starved for about 2.5 years, but then I started finding golf audiences, so that's what I do now. You do special charitable things. You're at golf tournaments. You perform for PGA audiences. I mean, you're like all over the place, man. Yeah, I do a lot of country clubs too, just because that's where the golfers are, and you know they can assemble, and they've got a room and a microphone, so it's real easy. It's real easy for me. Isn't it great to be in this business, man? That's all I require. That's all you need: a room and a microphone and a couple warm bodies, maybe to sit out front and pretend to listen in.
That's optional, though.
You know, the great thing about me doing golf is that when I was just doing regular comedy in comedy clubs, which I did for like 20 years, it was the thing that all comics struggle for is to find some sort of connection to your audience. You know, if you're in Cleveland, you want to talk about something Cleveland. If you're in Atlanta, you want to talk about something Atlanta, or it's just something that everybody can attach themselves to. Well, see, that's the great thing about when I do it. I know there's a lot of golfers out there, and the reason they come because I'm billed as the golf comic. Mm-hmm. So they know what they're getting into when they get there. So I have something in common with the crowd as soon as I get there. So it makes my job a lot easier. It's a lot more fun. One of our main pet peeves also is one of your best bits that they sent is the articles in the golf magazines not being written for us, but for really good golfers. That's just it. I was so happy to see that you guys are the radio voice for the average guy. Yeah. Because all the stuff for the pro golfers, they don't apply to us. No. You know, I hear them talking about, you know, they say, well, you know, this game it's a 99% mental. No. It is after you've got this superior talent like those guys. Yeah. Then it becomes 99% mental. But for us, it's just trying to hit the ball. just trying to stay in front of that ball. That's hard enough for me. I always say, people say, oh, you want to go play Pebble Beach? No, I don't need to go play Pebble Beach. The local golf course is plenty challenging for me. A ball that's sitting there on the ground, perfectly level, it's still hard enough for me. Yeah. I'm a 29 handicap. I don't need to challenge a Pebble Beach with all their swirling winds and their difficult lies. So. Well, here's one you see all the time. You see how to increase your drive by 10 yards. They have to do that at least one every other month. Yeah. Well, guys, I've been getting those magazines for 20 years now. And if those articles worked, I have a drive of just under 2,700 yards. But I don't. I'm still circling somewhere around 185, 190.
Maybe you're just not reading them carefully enough, TP. I don't understand that.
It could be. Maybe I just need to back up a little. Yeah,
it's the same thing with insurance. If I just change my insurance every month, I'd get it for nothing because every auto insurance company is going to save me $20. You know, just keep changing, and you'll get it down to absolutely where they start paying you. Man, it's great.
Right. There has to be an infinite point, right?
Yeah,
If you keep
exactly.
saving 50% every time you get it, after a while, you have to be paying just about next to nothing. You're right.
That's right.
Yeah, what a great idea that is. Get paid to have that. I like your math, John. That's good stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Now TP, do you play often, or do you talk about it more than you play?
Well, unfortunately, guys, these days I talk about it more than I play. When I was really struggling and I had all the time in the world, I got to play a lot.
Yeah.
But now, I go to play great courts. I go to Pinehurst, and I get to look at the courts on the way in. I go do my show, and because I got another show the next night, I get to say goodbye to Pinehurst on the way out. Yeah. So I get tantalized by some of the greatest courses in the world, but I rarely get to play them.
2-night gig, so that way you get to hang out and play during the day and do a show the night before, play during the day, do another show, and then get out of town.
And make playing that course part
I want
of
you
your
to be my agent.
package,
I want you as my agent. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, TP, it does make sense.
My agent seems to be getting me in Florida one night and in California another night. I want to get him a mat. That's the most important thing for the most important thing for my agent. I don't think he quite understands.
However, improving your game substantially, I would think, would be detrimental to your act, man. There's nothing funny about a 6 handicap.
You're right. A lot of people can't believe it when I tell them I'm a 29 handicap, but I really am. The thing about it, too, like with golf pros, I love golf pros, too. I love golf pros because they're much better than the magazines because they actually try to help you in your individual game. But all golf pros all look at the same thing, and they say, geez, you got a nice swing. I think there's a lot of guys like me. I do have a nice swing. Mm-hmm. But just put that ball in front of it and something goes awry.
That is the hardest part about golf, is that white ball.
As you guys know, there's a lot more to it than just having a nice swing. Like, I you're going to have a golf psychologist on, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. Gary Sales, right here.
I can help you, bro.
Let me ask you this. Does this happen to you? Now, this is the honest to truth. I'm not trying to be funny here. My first golf experience was when I was a kid. I saw Jack Nicklaus play, and I went into my father's bag and I stole his 9-iron. I went in our backyard and I started just hitting these plastic wiffle balls. Well, I hit the ground just like Jack Nicklaus did, and I took a divot. Well, my father came out, saw me doing this, and said, "What the hell are you doing to my yard?" And I was digging up the yard, and he just couldn't stand it. And to this day, I'm 57 years old, all I can think about is not being able to dig up that yard. So now I cannot take a divot. I cannot get my club into the ground. If you could tee the ball up on every shot, I do think I'd be about a 12 handicap. But you can't do that.
Childhood trauma rears its ugly head, man. I hate that.
It does. It does. They all say it all goes back to your childhood. Well, it does, guys. I'm afraid it all goes back to your childhood.
Okay, Gary, fix them, man.
Another problem I had was I played football when I was in high school. In football, they tell you, try as hard as you can. Use all your muscles on every play. Yeah. Try. Then you start playing golf. They say, TP, you need to relax. It's not easy to relax. Especially when that ball is just looking at you.
Oh, man. Reprogramming, man. That's the key. Reprogramming. Change your thinking, bro.
That's it. That's it. That's why, my game got a lot better when I started buying recycled balls. When I was hitting those expensive balls that were $4 a piece out of bounds, that's when they got really pressured. When I started playing Dunlop, I got a lot better.
It is that severe.
I think I would be the great voice for Dunlop balls. I don't think Dunlop has one, but I'd like to be the spokesman for Dunlop balls. Maybe the cheapest balls you have. Yeah. Let me try a couple of slogans out on you guys. Dunlop balls for guys who just aren't good enough to play Titleist.
Yeah, trademark it quick. All right, TP Mulrooney. And man, we're running out of time here, but before we leave, as you mentioned, you're a 29 handicapper, and you've got a great bit on equating the handicap system in golf. We're going to play that bit before we get out of here for today. But we appreciate you being with us, and good luck. And hopefully you'll show up someplace close in the Midwest here. We can all go out and catch your act live and in person. TP Mulrooney, appreciate it.
Anytime, John, JR, Jeff. It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
You're quite welcome, man. Take it easy. We'll talk to you again. JP Mulrooney, golf comedian, and here is his bit on golf handicap system.
Here's all it is. A golf handicap is nothing but an illusionary device designed to give even the worst golfer the feeling of competitiveness. For instance, if hunting were a handicap sport, the 29 handicap would be the guy shooting at a deer that's tied to a tree. more bored than scared. Jeez, I'll go deaf before he shoots me.
When we come back with a lot more of the best we could find of those weekend golf guys, we've got an interview with a former radio guy who is now a singer-songwriter, which means we're going to have some great music and some very bad jokes. John Chafee, when we come right back.